first got wind of it, at least.
Okay. Let me share the screen and share. Ta-da! All right.
Okay.
I guess I can add Dan here. We did try to get Ryan on, by the way. He unfortunately has.
Oh, hey, Dan.
Fucking Jeff is like, how about 9? And I was like, that would be great. So I could do things like eat dinner.
I haven't eaten either. I've like shoved some Doritos down my.
So what in the hell, like, wackadoodle crack job bug did Cam get up his ass?
He's found his new power.
Well, we're just about to get into that. We haven't actually introduced what's going on. As many fans of, first of all, Dan, how did you enjoy North Texas?
It was a lot of fun. Except for the part where Jeff at 4 a.m. fucking shot up in bed and started yelling about how the chickens got out of the chicken coop and he needed help getting, quote, those bastard chickens, end quote, back into the chicken coop. And this went on for like 12 minutes. 100% no bullshit. Jeff talks in his sleep a lot.
Oh, Jeanette loved it because she's like, "Yep, see, I told you talking in your sleep."
I'm like, every single night you were talking in your sleep.
I'm sure that was a bonding moment.
Well, you know.
No, we had a different bonding moment when he left me a very special present in the room.
Oh boy, let's not get into that. Agile Monk has joined us.
Hey, Agile.
Hey, Agile, you want to come on this stream? We'll put you on if you want
to. Well, okay. So you want me to go through it, and then we will have as much time as we want to.
Yeah. Let me see. I should be able to. See, I got it. Share tabs can be scrolled in Zoom, so you should be able to scroll in Zoom.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, this kind of is the good launching point. So, Nerdcognito, role-playing aficionado, has been noting that various, if you were a punk rocker, you'd call them posers, I suppose. But various so-called gamers don't really play, as he has there in his final line. They don't really play. He's had a number of X posts that end
with his tagline.
That's right. Sure. He's been hitting it hard, and good on him. But this one is a particular about this one instance. So it's what he says is Critical Role's Brendan Lee Mulligan ditched D&D's dice in campaign 4. No role needed because PC monologue was too good, in quotes. Performance now overrides actual gameplay. This isn't D&D. It's scripted theater pretending to be gaming. Now, I will... this has had a variety of different responses. It's, oftentimes you have modern gamers versus old school gamers, and it's just like, boom, they split right down the middle. This one has gotten different responses. I have fallen on the side of Nerdcognito here, and I'm happy to explain why. But the mistake, I think, comes in here in that in old school gaming, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, you don't always have to roll mindset is something that's respected as an idea, right? It's you don't have to roll for absolutely everything. Don't play your character sheet,
Right. I bitch about that all the time.
Rulings, not rules. All these things. These are valid ideas, right?
Right.
Would everyone agree with that in terms of old school gaming? That's kind of a thing.
Sure.
No, I want to play 3rd edition and roll for every damn thing on the planet for every single interaction I have.
That could be arranged. I'll bring my 3 ebooks.
I want to stare at my character sheet and tell my DM, I am rolling X.
Well, that is a choice of players, of course. That's another subject, but it highlights why there seems to be a divide, because people have a bit of a reaction like, yeah, you don't have to roll for everything, which is true. But if you read into this and the Sparkle Troll media outlets such as Polygon wrote a glowing article about how this is so unique and such a enlightened viewpoint that they're ditching roles and blah 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 blah, all this crap.
Wait. So they're trying to spin it like this is something that this moron came up with?
Well, yeah, I'll read the headline from Polygon. I wouldn't want to show it because it's Polygon, but it says the latest Critical Role episode proves dice isn't always right. Wouldn't that be dice aren't always right?
Yeah, if I remember grammar correctly. But
yeah, and then with the subtitle,
I know? I just live in the sticks. So
the subtitle, sometimes performance comes first in Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, now
performance is a little.
If you have Polygon taking the side of something, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Dan. Maybe Dan, you have an initial reaction here that would perhaps agree with that.
My initial reaction is that this is retarded.
Okay. Which part of it? The nerd?
The Brendan Lee Mulligan part.
Oh, well, that's kind of a given.
Oh, did I say moron? I'm sorry.
So it's really quite simple. Critical Role hasn't been a game for many, many years. Once
Correct.
Critical Role became a multi-million-dollar show, it became a telenovela or a soap opera.
Yeah.
Especially once they started pre-recording things.
Right. Now, okay, so there's a little more to this story. Again, of course, they're slobbering all over themselves, talking about how great this is. But and it's an important distinction here because it's not that this is a no roll situation or whatever. Presumably it was, but the DM here, this dude who I don't know or care much about,
the unfunny comedian.
Yeah, I guess he's a comedian. I don't know. Stated that
there's a lot of
in my words, he was so moved by it. It would be wrong to have a role here. Meaning, this was a situation which they would normally have a role, but the oratory, the presentation of this theater reject player was so grand.
For the record, this theater reject has more money than all of us put together.
Oh,
just throwing that out there, but yeah,
there's a lot of people that have a lot more money than I do that are worth crap, but that's neither here nor there. But that this was the sole reason is because of the presentation of it, that it would be wrong to have a role in this case. And later, I guess they have an after show or something, described that he was just stunned by the performance. So, he had to just say it was essentially a natural 20 that he played. Now,
but okay, they are performing. Yes, they are not playing a game.
And
it's two different things.
And it's also very likely this was scripted. This article was probably written before the episode ever came out. This is complete fake. This is all meant to stir their little theater kid pot and like, oh, look how special they are. Look how they're enlightened and beyond the game. They're role playing at a different level than you plebs that have been playing the game for 45 years.
I agree, Dreg. Sorry, Cam.
No problem.
But they're not. They're not playing. I guess that's my point. They're not playing a game. And I did see I saw Mike Merles opined on this.
Well, yes, that's the next point here.
Because Lord Mattias shared his response to Mike Merles, in which he very respectfully said he was wrong.
I reached out to Matt, by the way, and he's unfortunately watching a movie because that's more fun.
Well, he's a wife and kid, so he's spending time with him because he just spent all weekend getting drunk with you and
with us. That's true.
Cut the man some slack.
Well, I've spent the last 4 days warming up for this, so I'm
obviously you were like primed and ready to go. Like you had your fluffer
like,
on duty.
I'm just getting started.
I had to wait. He's like, come on, let's go. I'm like, dude, let me find my camera. Like, it's still in
Jeff Pigsby out of the blue, and he's like, hey, Cam wants to do something cool called like dungeon discussion or whatever the heck you call it. What'd you call the damn thing?
Dungeon debate.
Dungeon debate. That's what it was, which is a good name. I like it. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I'm sitting there cooking dinner, minding my own business, and I'm like, Jeff's like, so you good in 14 minutes? I was like, what?
New show for the Bad News Bards. They newly rebranded Bad News Bards channel.
There you go.
It's a good rebrand, by the way. You got to update your little tagline. It still says that Tennessee Tabletop Tavern.
Wait, where? Huh?
On Restream. Yeah, good job, buddy.
Okay, so now just Nerd Cognito's thing. It's like, oh, Critical Role. Yeah, he's knocking them because they're theater kids. Sure, no problem.
Yeah, but no, his second line says it all. Performance now overrides actual gameplay. There's no actual gameplay, and I would argue there hasn't been any actual gameplay in a very long time. It's been pre-scripted and pre-written for a while. The dice rolls have been largely fake.
Yeah.
Now they just don't roll. They just abandon the pretense. It's not a game. It's a show. It's a performance.
Yep. Yeah. And so that's kind of where that probably would have ended, right? If it was just this, it's like, yeah, we know what they're about, and so on and so forth. Raider Joe's, I might go to North Texas next year. We'll have to see.
You should.
We'll get you out there. Dying Breed said he's gonna try and do it next year too. I guess I'm in now, huh? I made lots of friends.
There you go.
Did you even play any games?
I played 2. And one of them wasn't even a role-playing game. But it was with Alan Hammock.
This dude was just.
I got invited to play this game. They're in the lounge, and they're like, they saw me.
Yeah, someone shared a picture on Facebook of Alan Hammock and like 3 ladies in bunny costumes playing a board game, and you were just sitting in the background, just like screwing around on your phone.
I was. No, that was not even that night. This was a different day, and I
Tor's right. Critical Role is the pro wrestling of TTRPGs. It's all storyboarded. It's all pre-written. It's all predefined. It's right. He's true.
It is. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, but
we're gonna get a lot of hate for this one.
From who?
From all the Critical Role fans.
Well, good.
Do you think Critical Role fans watch?
Well, first of all, we're not gonna watch this. No, please. This channel's my game.
Agile.
Okay, but the plot thickens because today, and I saw this. I follow Nerd Cognito, so that's how I saw this. But then Mike Merles.
I don't have a Twitter, by the way. So.
Oh well, okay, that's fine. Mike Merles posted something about this today, and I saw it because
readers added context.
Okay, again, this note is written by idiots that don't understand this issue. Oh, of course,
that's written by Redditors.
Yes, exactly.
They logged off of their Blue Sky accounts to log into X to go make that context.
Right, and I'm going to excruciatingly tell them why they're wrong. So okay, so Mike Merles posted this today, and the reason I saw it is because Professor Dungeon Master, who runs the Dungeon Craft channel, which is a good channel. I like Professor Dungeon Master.
Dan is a great guy.
Seems like a nice
guy. Yes, I am.
Love to have him on.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Different Dan.
You're an asshole. No, but I love you anyways.
I'm an asshole.
Hey, chickens. We've got to save the chickens.
That's why he's got that chicken alarm on his thing. He's got a whole chicken thing that we don't know about. That's what's going to come out.
A lot of people found out about that.
Okay. Hey, Outpost Nerd, welcome. Okay, so anyway, Professor Dungeon Master has he just finished a Kickstarter for some miniatures, the Deathbringer miniature line,
right?
And for his thing, unfortunately, I think it's closed.
It was
now,
very short. It was only like 9 days or something like that. It was
very short. But I encourage people to watch his channel. It's a good channel, and he doesn't really, he's an old school gamer. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
And he's a smart guy and articulate guy.
I am glad that Ryan just posted a picture of Brendan Lee Mulligan's absolute soy boy face.
Soy face. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
But I Professor DM runs in circles that. Well, I don't, but I don't think you guys do either, and that's fine. He's a nice guy. It seems like that. He interacts with people in a positive way. So nothing about this is crapping on him. Now, okay, interesting, Jeff.
That's factually incorrect.
Which one? What he said?
Professor DM's comment right there is factually incorrect, especially when you broadcast and categorize all OSR games together. Because in a very large number of them, charisma applies to reaction roll adjustments, which is a very important stat and why it's overlooked.
Look at my tweet right under it.
Hey, Prof, I think you're forgetting charisma adjustment to you see, yeah.
That should actually.
I would disagree with you on one point. BX is not OSR; it's just OS.
Okay, that's a whole. interestingly enough, that's a whole nother discussion that I'd love to have on this debate.
They
thing.
can't even decide what the R means anyway, so it's good just not to have it.
Right. But I think well, I don't know. Like Jeff, we were talking, this is another discussion, but just briefly, Tenkar, I think, would say it is OSR. BX, I think he had a video.
I'm mostly memeing.
It's the revival part of it, I think.
Well, is it revival? Is it Renaissance? Is it rules?
That's a valid discussion to have. And,
and resurrection?
Old school
restitution? Is it
restitution?
Is it
what the hell have you been doing?
Is it renegade? I don't know. I'm just picking R words.
Okay,
because it doesn't mean anything.
So this was a discussion that happened earlier in the week that is tied to this, and where I think he's incorrect. He's factually incorrect. What he said there is just not right.
Uh-huh.
But then today, Jeff, this is the one where the Mike Merles post. Do you have that?
Let me see. Well, see if I can find it here.
So this has been going back and forth for a while, right?
But clearly, I was not paying attention to X the whole time I was at North Texas.
Well, yeah, nor should you.
I was a little preoccupied. Let me see if I can.
It's a little bit back up above the in the thread.
Let me see if it'll pop it up this way. Okay, here's Mike Merles'. This is his, right?
So this is what I noticed today. I'll just read it. Is foregoing charisma die roll because of a player's monologue, which he's referring to this critical role thing, is no different than foregoing a search roll because the player specifically described trying to unscrew the bedpost while searching for a secret compartment, meaning the secret compartment was in there. He says both are signs of engaged players and should be rewarded. So he's coming out in support of this idea that this critical role orchestrated little thing is correct. And again, I think most old school players say, oh yes, engaging in the game is a good thing, right? You should have some benefit from that. But are my comments below here by chance, Jeff, or is it buried? Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Here, Professor Dungeon Master, this is Dungeon Craft. He says this, putting this on the next episode of Dungeon Craft. Thank you. Now, I responded to Professor Dungeon Master and saying that this is
let me follow that because I think I saw your post.
Yeah.
You said these are not the same situation.
Right. And if you click back, and then I had the response to Mike Merles. Then
okay.
Just scroll down a tiny bit. Okay, it
there
says this isn't
what people do on Twitter. Holy crap!
Yes,
that's welcome to Twitter. This is what you do. Well, I'm sorry.
Like this is what you guys do while you poop, right?
No, absolutely
not. You might get poop dust on your phone.
Okay. I said this isn't the same situation. One is an objective action that has an objective physical outcome. That is the search. Describing I am searching in this box. Do I see something in the box? You don't need to roll for that. You're doing it, right? It's objective. The other, referring to the speech, is an action that has to be subjectively judged by who hears the monologue. And then I give the absurd example. If I'm a fighter and really engaged in describing my attack, do I automatically hit? And the answer, of course, is no. So Merles is being just kind of general about this, right? So I'm not trying to crap on him necessarily.
All right.
In this,
hang on, scroll up. I don't care about unicorn sparkle flag emoji. Scroll up. All right. So I have a more nuanced take on the Mike Merles thing.
Okay.
Go up.
Oh, you want to see his post?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's why I said go up 4 times. You listen so good. Okay. Foregoing a charisma die roll because of a player's monologue is no different than foregoing a search roll because the player specifically described trying to unscrew the bedpost while searching for a secret compartment. In very limited cases in which a player's monologue or vocalizations or sayings perhaps appealed to some sort of secret motivation that an NPC already had, sure, forego the roll. Like if you have like when I make NPCs, I generally give them a quirk, I give them a secret, and I give them like, sometimes like an enemy or a hidden ally or something like that, right? Just like 3 little quick bullet points. But like if there's an NPC that secretly wants to find some hidden spell book in some far off ruin, and the first time the party encounters that NPC and they've already gone to that far off ruin and recovered that spell book, and they offer it to the NPC in exchange for something, I'm not going to roll that, because that I know as the DM or referee or game master or arbiter or whatever, that NPC already wanted that thing. And yeah, maybe they'll try to play dumb and be like, oh, I don't care, blah, 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 blah. But like, I can see forgoing a charisma die roll in like very niche circumstances like that, where you're already appealing to a predetermined want or desire.
So
Absolutely.
there's a counter argument to be made that not everybody can speak so eloquently.
I
Or
don't care.
not-
Even if like Grog the Berserker says, Grog need army, wizard have army, Grog have spellbook. Spellbook for army, that would be fine.
Okay, that you guys are hitting on.
I would even go with like, so if someone did it in third person, be like, hey, he's a wizard. We found the spell book. Would he be maybe interested in that? Right? Like, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't care about the role play aspect
Okay.
of it.
Now, like, let's say there's some people that like to do voices.
I just said I don't care about the role play aspect of it.
Right. Well, okay. Well, you don't care about the role or the role play. I mean,
like if they do voice, like I don't give bonus points if someone does a stupid voice.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
So this is
dumb. I don't give bonus points if people use first person.
And what I'm saying,
as long as they're engaging with the game somehow, I don't care how they do it and how they're comfortable.
As long as they engage.
Aren't you expected to engage with the game? Isn't that what players are supposed to do? Right?
Yes.
Why are you
and if you don't engage with the game at all, you
screw
around with your phone the whole time, then I just don't have you in my game anymore. Right. But I'm old and mean.
Okay. The problem that this is being he's kind of straw manning this a little bit. The question
absolutely is
whether players should be rewarded for good play. It's and it isn't the question of should there be times when there aren't roles. Dan, you described a situation where that is appropriate. And again, I don't think any
in very specific edge case circumstances, but in general, I'm a huge fan and enjoyer of the 2d6 reaction roll, because it gives you a mechanism for how the world reacts to what the players are doing socially.
Right. They may just be having an off day and just it hits them.
Sometimes you roll like shit and you get into a fight. Sometimes you roll double sixes and then you can take the escaped slaves back into town and sell them for money.
We've had a number of double sixes in recent games, but
so Kyle, Dying Breed Tabletop, he said, here's how I as a DM would have handled this, and I like this. This is an excellent thing. The player gets a +4 bonus to a 2d6 reaction roll. They can add to their charisma modifier if applicable. That is probably the best. You know what? That was a really good thing. I'm going to give you a bonus. If you're playing 5th edition, you could say, I'm going to give you advantage on that.
Yes, exactly. All of these things exist in the game, and they're well known, right? For this. Now, let me, if I may, point out where the real error is being made here. Is if you take the situation where, and Dan, I think you were kind of getting on this with the grog or whatever you were mentioning. Let's say you have two players. One of them is a Tony Award winning actor, and he presents these flowery speeches that are so beautiful, and you make the DM cry. And then in this hypothetical, then you have a nervous, shy teenager or preteen, whose
voice is cracking.
Whose voice is cracking, right? And it's playing the exact same character and describing the substance of the exact same thing they're doing. But that kid wouldn't get the free natural 20, but the theater actor would, because the moron DM got tears in his eyes because of the performance.
Yeah,
that's the situation.
That's a shitty lame DM.
Yes, exactly. And that's the point here, that all of these people who are supporting this BS are missing. And our friend Outpost Nerd said, why does it matter, how people play at their different tables? It really doesn't. I don't care how someone plays their table. But this is being presented to the public and every future player that you might have at your table, that this is the way to play the game that is wrong for any number of reasons. I don't care what they do on Critical Role in the end. I care that it affects the gaming world in general. They have outsized
in
influence.
general, I am anti telling people that they're playing it wrong.
True.
Because at the end of the day, we're all playing elf dragon games with dice, which
Yes.
basically amounts to playing pretend with your friends with a very loose rule set.
Yes.
And sometimes you play it with a very thick and heavy and stupid rule set, and that's called Pathfinder 2. But anyway, moving on.
Let's go heavy.
This is why I don't like the Pro SR people, because they're like, oh, you have to do 1-to-1 time, and you have to do it the way Gary did it, and you have to do it this way, and then we use Wish to turn everybody into a Muppet. Like,
Gary changed his method many times throughout.
Every DM changes their methods every single time they play, because we evolve as we go through.
We adapt.
We play other games and we read other systems and we find cool shit. Or as we get older and forget things.
Right. But let's make no mistake. What's happening here is you have these media outlets that are praising this as if it's some sort of invention.
Do people actually still read Polygon?
Yes, this squad does, I guess. And like I said, I only saw it because through this. But let's stop pretending that there aren't people trying to distort this game, the Sparkle Troll crowd and everything, to transform it into. They make no bones about it. They hate us. They want us out of the game. The people that work for WotC say they can't wait until people like us are gone from the game. So yes,
that was Kyle Brink, and he's a fucking idiot. All right.
Yes, he absolutely is.
He was pandering to the audience on that podcast.
Yeah.
Right. And so
your average human being just wants to hang out, roll some dice, and kill a dragon.
What was the vast majority of the people at North Texas?
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. If you are ever an old, fat, bearded white man that needs to blend into a crowd and evade law enforcement, by golly, North Texas RPG Con is the con for you.
Oh yeah, and it was great.
It was a grand time, but like
I fit in perfectly.
But like, I mean, awesome. there were like women there, and there were some younger people there.
Yes,
I mean, I think I told you, Jeff. I ran an impromptu game. Did I tell you this? I can't remember if I told you this or not.
Yeah, because the
but I did tell Cam, so I'll tell it real quick. So I was in an OSE game on Saturday and Sunday. It was a 2-part game, and the referee just didn't show up. The game was still on the schedule. No one knows why he didn't show up. I hope everything's okay. Sometimes emergencies happen.
Maybe you couldn't cancel it. God knows.
Right. Oh, jeez. Maybe he was just hungover. Who knows? But there was this table of 7 people, me included. And, we were waiting it was about 12:08, about 8 minutes past. And I was like, people were starting to get kind of bummed out. And it was a family of 3, a dad and his 12-year-old son, me and one other guy. And I was like, tell you what, guys, I'm going to go next door. I'm going to grab a copy of the Hyperborea Player's Manual, and I'm going to run an adventure. And I went over there, and Black Blade was all out of the Hyperborea guide, so I bought Osric, still a great game, brought it back. We all rolled up characters, and I ran Rats on the Walls. I was like reading the adventure and running it from my phone. And it was 2.5 hours, and everybody had a great time. And the best player at that game was that 12-year-old kid. He got bit by poisonous rats. He got bit by poisonous rats, and he saw other people get diseased and start to waste away. And he was like, I take out my dagger and I cut off all the infested skin. And I'm like, you're going to debride your wound? And he's like, yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ran over, I gave him a fist bump. I'm like, dude, that's metal as shit, right? So I let him do it. He rolled a D for the damage, but he didn't get the disease. And then later on, he accidentally kind of spilled a bunch of blood on a summoning circle and kind of reactivated / resurrected / summoned this old demon, and the demon was going to eat him. And he was like, no, don't eat me. Take all the people in the city above instead. So the demon was like, you know what? Deal.
I like you.
Once again, ran over, gave the kid a fist bump. They got through the adventure. They actually lived. Like 3 of them went down or whatever. But then at the end, I narrated, and I was like, as you come out of the sewers, you come up to find the city of Chromarium in flames as like armies of demons are swarming on the city. You hear the cries of the people, and this kid's eyes just got so big, and he got this biggest smile. And I was like, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Rats in the Walls. So that was awesome. I'm going to remember that 12-year-old kid for the rest of my freaking life.
I hope, you know what?
And he's going to remember that game for the rest of his freaking life.
And that's what That's what this game. That's what this hobby is about.
Yeah, I don't
man.
give a shit about
Well,
Critical Role. I don't give a shit about hot takes on Twitter from a bunch of old morons.
in this case, though, Dan,
Yeah.
if what they would have done is if he used the word debrided, he would have gotten the benefit, but not using that word, he would have had to make the roll.
He said he pulled out his dagger and cut the infected skin off his arm.
Right. I understand.
To which I
I'm
said,
making a joke.
that is an awesome metal album cover.
Yeah.
Right. So
his dad was kind of horrified at some of the stuff he was doing too, which was awesome.
Well, yeah, that's that. There you go. That's metal. That's,
yeah, Raider Joe's Lamentations of the People of Chromarium.
So, while Dan might not be interested in such things, or and our friend Outpost Nerd might think this is a waste of time, I think there are some other issues here, and again, it's not about whether you skip a roll or whether role playing should be encouraged or whether engagement is the proper way to play. People are making the mistake of playing a character and what doing, playing the role of the character and falsely using your personal attributes to be inserted into the game. So again, what happened here is this guy was apparently a great orator. I didn't actually listen to it. I'm just going with the commentary, but he impressed the DM with his oratory skills of the real person. In this case, I understand it happens to match. It's a warlock or something. I guess he's got a high charisma, so on and so forth. The person he was trying to convince in the game also was a very wily character, not some pushover who would just start crying at some beautiful oratory. But take the opposite. Let's say you have a bodybuilder player, like me. I'm a huge dude, bodybuilder type, and I'm playing.
Sure.
Okay.
And I'm playing a whatever, a rogue, and I want to lift a gate, and I go in there and I say, well, I lift, bro. I get the big gains and everything, and I really know how to lift. So I'm going to describe in great deal how I get my stance right, and I grip the gate, and I really pull it up. And imagine a DM going, okay, yeah, your 6 strength rogue lifts that gate because you were so amazing at describing really it and engaging in it.
So while
so
we're
you
all
should be
talking
rewarded.
about our fantasy game characters that are totally true to life, all of my dudes have huge dongs. Anyway, moving on.
That's a different kind of role playing. That's the carousing mechanic.
That's fatal.
Yes.
But okay, so obviously, I think that describes the absurdity of the argument that he's making here, right? And that because the DM was brought to tears by the oratory, that somehow translates into the game resolution. Playing the character is about operating the character. You're making them do something. You're not inserting your brilliance into it. Imagine if you were, I don't know, a chemist, but your character's not a chemist, and you can describe everything to do with chemistry, and someone has a chemistry-based puzzle. Well, that's just called out of game information, and you're a dick for doing that, and the DM should slap you down real fast. Right? Now, granted, the line is a little bit blurry because you do speak for your character and such, but the minute that you apply the player's skill not at playing, but at real world things to the game, I think that's the line where you're making a mistake.
Here's another mechanic that could be used. Inspiration points.
By
Sure.
the way, look at my cool blanket that I made.
Oh,
is that Hyperborea?
Sure is.
That's where we're at every Monday on Erudite DM's channel.
Yeah. Of course, I'll be driving. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to play the 2-hour session at 8:00.
Well, Angelo was streaming while he was driving on the way back from North Texas, so I believe in you. And also use your cup holder in your car as a dice tray. You'll be fine.
Jeff, do you want to pull up Matt's response?
All right.
Yeah,
Matt, send me a link for that one. Is it down in this?
I think I gave you a link. There's a long discussion.
Here's a response 5 hours ago from Mike, by the way.
Okay.
It says, I agree if we rate it based on personal charisma rather than what the player says. I've given players auto success on interactions they frame well. quote, I remind him we have photos of his involvement in the ritual, and one call can end his career.
Right.
Okay.
But
But
that's talking about what I was talking about, how you're appealing to a specific either motivation or fear of an NPC, in which case, yeah, like if it makes sense, then don't roll, or do what Kyle said and go with, oh, good, it's Unicorn Sparkle Folk.
Well, actually,
with like a +4.
That poster there, the Surefire, if you scroll up to above what Merle said, they actually make a good point. It says, I'll read it. Doesn't seem terribly fair or in the spirit of the game to give players who are smart and persuasive in real life those advantages in the game, despite their characters not necessarily having those qualities. We wouldn't let players who auto-pass athletics because they're Jack in real life. So that's the same thing I said.
That is kind of what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, you know, in most situations, I would tend to go with what Kyle mentioned, like a 2d6 + 4 for reaction roll, because even if you're appealing to someone's, like, you know, secret motivation or desire or fear, like, you don't know how they're going to take that.
Right.
That's why the reaction roll exists. Like in very limited circumstances, sure, forego the die roll.
Yeah, Thunder Chicken's funny. I walk over to the merchant to hand them a package. Roll against athletics for walking. DC 5.
Well, yeah, Thunder Chicken is playing 3.5.
Well, no, I think he's mocking it. So
thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm pointing at it. I don't want people to believe, you know, that you were serious. You know, there are people out there that are, you know.
All right, let's
it's not even a punk rock take of they're not D&D. We are. They're D&D. They're just a shitty D&D that I don't want to play.
Yeah.
Although I would go so far as to say if they're not rolling any dice at all, then they're not playing D&D. They're not playing a role-playing game. They're telling campfire stories. Games have to have stakes.
That's it, Dan. That's what all this is about, right? It's all about pushing it to exactly what you just said.
I'm so smart.
Theater kid antics, nonsense, feel good garbage. Again, it was the DM said it made me feel this way, so I changed.
They are playing Kathleen Kennedy's version of D&D.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, throw that fire, that fuel in the fire. Great.
Oh no, a bunch of Star Wars nerds are gonna get mad.
Oh no. No. Those are anti-Star Wars nerds. Anyway, okay, Jeff, let's go to Matt's poster. Do you got it?
Is it? I don't know if it's in
this. Drag, it's the DM's job to not fudge dice rolls, which is why I don't like advantage and I don't really like modifiers. I'm okay with modifiers. I don't like advantage. I don't care for advantage. I really hate reroll mechanics and meta currencies that force rerolls. They piss me off because they slow down the game and they're lame. But yeah, I don't fudge dice rolls. Every single die I roll is like in the open. When I'm running the game on Monday with the guys, I roll it on my virtual camera.
I have never tried a visible roll, but I'm tempted to, just because it'll be like, no, dude, that's what, you know. And there's other ways that a DM can do stuff. I mean, you know, if the encounter,
he basically said what I did. I love Matt.
Well, go ahead. Let's read it. Do you want to read? Do you want to read it, Dan?
Sure. This is Lord Mattias. He's a good dude.
Yes.
I'm going to disagree respectfully. The issue is a bit more nuanced than this. If the same player, all things being equal, used a third-person narrative rather than the monologue that accurately utilizes the results of an investigation into an NPC's motivations, desires, and goals, I would not require a roll. If all things are equal, and the eloquent orator gives an impassioned monologue that completely missed the mark on the NPC's goals, desires, and motivations, I would call for a roll. Why? There's a chance for failure here. I would even argue there's a chance for failure above, just because you don't necessarily understand how the NPC is going to roll. But that being said, I agree completely. The delivery methodology does not matter. It's the content.
Yes, very, very well said. And Matt here is kind of taking the position that this may be a no roll required kind of situation, right?
Right. And he's basically saying what I did, which is it's specifically applying to an NPC's motivations, desires, goals, fears, whatever, you know, then yeah. But even then, if you call for a roll, that's also fine, because you don't, that's a fair way to emulate how an NPC would react to suddenly hearing shocking information. Shocking being shockingly like, oh my God, I'm so excited, or shockingly like, I might have to kill these guys. Right.
Yeah. Right. And I want to make the point again, this is the whole article and the action was literally the deciding point was the DM got the feels. So he changed the game to match his feelings. Okay, this is not like some higher theory. This is what these idiots did because you made me cry with your performance, so you win.
Yeah,
that's
so
the worst.
moving.
Have you guys ever? Sorry, go ahead.
And like, I'm not saying I've never fudged a dice roll, because of course I have, especially when I was younger and I was playing with my buddies, and we were definitely 100% legitimately dividing up the pantheons of the gods for their domains and powers and cool special items in AD&D 1E and 2E. 100% legit. Definitely got to level 36 and back me all legitly.
Yes. Teenager.
Yeah. But I had Thor's hammer, by the way. But like, ever since, honestly, like college, like I don't, even in college for the most part, like I've been rolling in the open for a very long time, because I think it makes the game more emergent and fun.
Well, I have,
and it removes an avenue for bitching.
I mean, I've never particularly fudged rolls. There's other ways that you can adjust. If players are slicing through whatever the encounter is, there's two ways of going about it. You can either let them have the victory, which is not a bad strategy at all. Sometimes they need that. Or
I don't care what they need.
You can throw a second wave in, or you can.
Well, yeah, and that's an entirely different conversation about like dynamic encounters. Like
But that's what you would do. You don't need to fudge the rolls. Is the point?
Right.
There are other ways of
you are the all-powerful god of the universe that you are portraying in this game. That's why I like games like 5e.
Well,
I don't like them, but even at high levels, yeah, they're super powerful, but I'm more powerful. I can still kill them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but this you guys bring up another thing. So, and again, no one would disagree that, hey, the DM is running this table. They could do what they want, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, before you scroll past that, Jeff, wait. Matt's last thing, he said, that's how this issue equivalent to automatic success on a search. If you do not see the distinction, or worse, claim there is no distinction, you're allowing the DM to become a despot, not a neutral arbiter of the rules. The DM, even though their rulings are final, they can make what they are supposed to be the referee, right? I mean, they're also the storyteller in some ways, not the only storyteller, but it's... And these are the same people that screech about player agency and how and the players, and the DM is supposed to be their slave. But now it's like, oh, well, the DM, wants to do that, so now they can do anything. Oh, look, Mike Merles did reply just shortly ago.
I know, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, see, Matt can get more flies with honey than I can with it.
It's not even that Matt can get more flies with honey. It's that I think
he's a lawyer.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah,
but I mean, and he's a really smart guy. But I think realistically, Mike Merles probably thought all of that as part of his initial post, but did not convey all of that.
I agree. Right? Like I said, I'm not trying to crap on Merles.
No.
He might have been the last decent guy at WotC.
He was the last man standing.
Right, but the problem is in our world, his hot take that wasn't clearly communicated.
Yes,
is what'll get passed around on the dipshit sites like
exactly,
like Kotaku and shit.
And I've had someone say, "Well, Mike Merles designed the game. Who are you to question it?" Yeah, I'll question him every fucking day.
I design a game every time I run a game, because every time I run a game, I do shit differently because I'm old and can't remember the rules, so I make things up as I go along.
And that keeps the game moving.
Congratulations, I'm a game designer.
You're either a savant and have all the rules memorized, or you've done it for so long that you just know every
This is the
rule
best part.
ever.
Even if you have all the rules memorized, you know when not to use the rules and use something else.
That's true. And sometimes the rules don't fit the situation, or don't.
I can absolutely do D6 sided initiative and go, movement, missile, melee, magic, in the phases, or I can go D6 and just go around the horn, right? Or I can just, do individual initiative, or just and adapt whatever to the system at hand that's needed, and keep the game moving.
Now, this other fellow here, that guy Drew, brings up an interesting point, and that's something else I'd like to ask you guys about. It says not even the DM becomes a despot, but more the game subtly shifts from characters do X to the world where Bob tries to convince the DM to let him do stuff. I was going to ask you guys, I have had the misfortune of playing at tables for a long time where it's like, who can whine at the DM long enough to get them so he has his way.
Or the DM's girlfriend is playing,
I've been there too.
and yeah, which is funny because my
See,
wife.
you guys are just nicer than me. When people do that, I have literally told people to shut up.
I literally do not treat my wife special at the table.
Right.
In fact, I make a point to not.
It's poison to a game if
Yes,
you
yes.
can't,
Because then it shows
separate your
if you
personal
show
life from a game.
if you show favoritism in any way, it's not fair to the other people at the table.
I agree.
So,
Jeff, first of all, everyone in the chat, thank you for watching our debut
impromptu
episode
stream,
of
yeah.
Dungeon Debate on the the newly renamed Bad News Barge channel.
Cam, we're gonna have to discuss the date and time of this because normally I have a game on Tuesdays, by the way. So,
well, this is not a scheduled show for Tuesday. This is
Not yet.
That's good.
It's not scheduled for anything.
Just as a note, Jeff and I just started discussing the possibility of this. I just came at
Cam got fired up and he was like, "No, we need to do it. We need to do it right now."
Well, no, that was for today. The debate thing was a different thing, and we talked about doing maybe it as a film or a pre-recorded thing. But we could talk about that.
Yeah.
I want a film. I want it filmed in black and white, and I want the 24 FPS filter come over it, and like the old film grain and everything. We gotta make it really classy, like we're theater kids,
Yeah.
Oh,
That would do it.
Jeff, you know how to do that shit?
Yes, I can.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Okay, but this is an important point that this guy's bringing up, because in my opinion, that this ruins game. And this is kind of this is the danger of the rulings, not rules thing too. And I want to talk about this issue when we talk about skills in games and not having skills. Because if you have a good DM who's, they're like, yeah, I'm a referee. I'm doing things. I'm hyperborean. Yes. I'm playing things straight and da-da-da. But again, there's a lot of people who love playing these kinds of influence games, and it really, I don't like it. I mean, again, making your case and trying to get advantage, that's fine. But sitting there and playing these pressure games, and a DM's just, even good DMs can be like, oh my God, fine, let's just get on with this. They get sick of it, and it's this meta social garbage that goes on at a game table that sucks.
Yeah, that's called bullying. And when someone tries to bully you, you tell them to go fuck themselves or get up and leave.
Yeah.
I get it.
You're a blunt kind of fellow, Stan.
He's very, very blunt. you haven't met. You haven't noticed, huh?
Dying Breed mentions, yes, you have to. This is the internet we're dealing with. You have to strike while the iron's hot on these things, because 5 minutes later, people are going to be on to some other outrage.
Right. I get it.
I understand. I want to address no one, because I have not just gamed with Matt or run.
I was going to say Matt is an attorney.
So yeah. So is Ty, and he tried to kill us all.
No, his truck tried to kill you all.
That's right. His demonically possessed Cybertruck tried to kill us. Anyway, if you missed the story, it's at the beginning. But I have actually run a game in person for an attorney, and it was fun. It was actually fun. I had a fun. In fact, I asked him. I said, "So, when you watch TV shows like dramas that involve lawyers?" And he's like, "No, because it drives him insane." So I could see I think that maybe that's why a lot of us don't like Critical Role.
But even then, you don't have to be a lawyer to be a rules lawyer and be obnoxious. That's just
no,
that's like a character trait. I don't give a shit
well,
when someone
actually,
yeah, that's called someone that's just an asshole.
I would say what's a bigger challenge is when one of your players is a walking encyclopedia of a particular given setting, and you are not, and they know everything about the world, and then try to use that to their advantage.
So what you're saying is you don't want to ever run Dragonlance for me. Understood.
Are you a know-all of everything Dragonlance?
I used to be. It's been a long time, but I do like Dragonlance a lot.
I mean, I read a whole nother chapter sitting at the airport on my way to. I took the whole book with me.
For a man whose flight was delayed 24 hours, I'm very proud of you for getting through one chapter of a book.
Maybe it was 2. I don't know. Was it? I got the bookmark somewhere in there.
I mean, I think you're kind of hitting on something, and I brazenly alluded to it. There's
the reasons.
nothing wrong with advocating for yourself in the game you want to run. And
Yeah.
if someone is being a dick, put them in their place.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those things that you learn early on you have to do.
A lot of people don't learn that at all. And if they do learn it, they don't learn it until they're adults. They will just allow themselves to be walked all over
Yes.
by assholes. Don't let yourself get walked over by assholes in any facet of your life.
I do not disagree whatsoever with you, Mac. I can't watch it. The only thing I could ever watch that those guys did was like some of the games that they did during COVID. You know, the telephone game and stuff like that, because it was not D&D.
In season 1, after creepy ass Orion Akawa left, who I'm pretty sure was like constantly trying to grope the women under the table. He was just weird. And they were doing like the first arc before they kind of hit it big. It was okay. You know, there's an interesting story about vampires and some dude's hometown getting like all, you know, jacked up by the vampires or whatever. Like that was like moderately entertaining. But it very quickly lost its luster.
And yes, it is not an accurate representation.
No, it's not.
He's absolutely right. That's not, you know, first of all, you get a random group of 4 to 6 people around a table or more. They're not all going to be voice actors. They're not all going to have professional acting skills. They're not all going to be able to do, you know, these flourishing speeches, these flowery speeches, and speaking these wonderful accents, and you know, this and that.
But by the way, you totally missed Raider Joe's amazing comment about people wanting ADA compliant dungeons.
Oh no, that's on the list.
Okay.
On the list.
Okay.
Nope, because that could be a whole nother show.
Well,
yeah, combat wheelchairs.
Yeah.
In a world with dungeons.
The best part about the 5.5 PHB is the combat wheelchair art where they're in Ravenloft, in Castle Ravenloft, getting beset by like ghostly undead and undead.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a sorceress in a combat wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
And they have her on like this landing on top of some stairs. I'm not bullshitting. It is 100% true.
Yeah, you know, it's like they go out of their way to do all this DEI crap, and then they like step on the rake. You know what I mean?
Well, just almost, like the orcs with the
orc
sombreros,
thing,
right?
The orc thing, the Hadozi thing.
Yeah, the Hadozi. That's
oh my god!
I almost think there's like one secret shitlord left in Watson.
That's trying to just
that's like gone so far on the horseshoe, he's come back around to like 4chan shitlord side, and he's like, combat wheelchair, you know, representation, on top of some stairs. Like it's just this beautiful little subtle thing. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's just it's crazy, and I think that may be where the Polygon article is trying to, you know, isn't this so great and blah blah blah. It's like totally new and no shit. We've been doing that forever.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing that in first today. They were doing that in OD&D.
And if people, again, if anybody was like, well, why do you care? It's because you repeat a lie often enough and it becomes the de facto truth.
You have to call
it out. And that's what's gone on here with this is
the art
Dungeons and Dragons has been turned into, you know, the Sparkle Troll nightmare of proms and coffee dates.
Which makes no damn sense.
Do you remember the South Park episode where Cartman was critiquing on Kathleen Kennedy and what she does to Star Wars?
Which one?
Make
it she makes it lame and gay. It's the Kathleen Kennedy D&D.
Yes, it's a stereotype that fits perfectly with reality.
It does.
Here we go.
And
I got it.
Kathleen Kennedy tried to single-handedly kill Star Wars. I mean, she tried by conversion.
This isn't Babylon 5 show, Jeff. We don't need to talk about.
Okay. Wait. Let's talk about the intricacies of Risk and why it's the shittiest game ever. No, that would be more like that, right?
Welcome back, Agile Monk. Glad you can come back. And you want to highlight what Matt says there?
I'm going to share a screen.
Okay.
5.5 PHP, page 198. This beautiful piece of art.
With Doctor Who in the front there.
And the Weathermay Foxgrove twins, Jennifer and Laurie, along with the investigators Alonic Ray and Arthur Sedgwick, fight to escape the horrors of Castle Ravenloft. Unfortunately, the way out is down a set of stairs. So I do believe that Arthur Sedgwick is how shall we say this?
Secretly based?
Kind of fucked. But
oh my god! Look at the picture on the.
No, don't look at the tiefling nonsense.
I can't.
So that picture right there is for Hunter. That's
I was gonna say that's a Hunter. I was thinking of
that is
Hunter.
Hunter's picture. In the
my god,
Hunter,
we love you, bro.
It's too late, man. It's too late. The squirrel chasing has begun.
It's not even squirrel chasing. I was just bringing back around to the point that I made. Here, I'll go ahead and I'll stop sharing.
Okay.
So, but no, he's right. But like this is going back to the Mike Burles thing. Rules are important. Roles make the game because roles imply that there are things like consequences and stakes, and without consequences and stakes, you don't have a game.
Yeah,
that's interesting. You mentioned that, Dan. Is some people were arguing, well, if you don't have consequences and you don't have to do it, if it's not a blah blah blah. It's like if you paid attention to what this situation was, it was high stakes. They described it as high stakes. There are huge consequences to it, and but I felt this way, so
Yeah.
I think by and large, the Merle's initial take probably not as well enunciated as.
He knows better, right?
But
it was poorly stated.
Like Matt's a really smart guy. Obviously, tieflings were a mistake. Tieflings are an abomination and should be put to the sword, just like gnomes.
Jeanette's gonna hit you.
I don't care.
Jeanette will hit you. When
I didn't marry her.
No. So she loves her gnomes.
Just before she hits me, tell her equal rights come with equal fights.
No, gnomes were in at least
going to hell.
She fights dirty, man. Let me tell you.
Squirrel.
So
Raider Joe, yeah. Get you.
Yeah, okay. We should have gone down the disability combat wheelchair rabbit hole.
Here's the thing.
You squirreled us. It's all Dan's fault.
I don't like tieflings, but a tiefling, okay, sure. Someone's got a tiefling. They got some reason. They play it out legit. But it's like every freaking tween that came into the game during COVID wants to be a friggin' tiefling. It's obnoxious.
Well, yeah. Tieflings made sense in AD&D 2nd Edition and Planescape, where they originally originated.
Well, in Planescape, they make sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. So the fringe becomes the norm, right? That's what these weirdos always want to do, is take whatever little fetish they have and make it the norm.
So hang on. Are we talking about how rules are important, or are we talking about 5e weirdos?
Yes.
We should pick one.
Kind of the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Pick a lane. Stay focused.
I vote for rules are important because that's more interesting to me than weirdos on 5e.
Okay, but these are related.
As Max said. So what's tonight's topic?
Yeah. It's how rules are important and consequences are important, and it's because of that rolling is important. And critical sucks.
And what people are failing in when they're arguing for this crap is they're failing to understand that they're contradicting themselves. They're contradicting everything because the feels, and they're stating it openly. This is what I did.
But who's actually arguing for it though? So
there are people. If you look through these threads,
tweets. And most people are like, no, you guys are kind of morons, at least that I've seen. And maybe that's because all the weirdo blue hairs left Twitter for Blue Sky.
I have been catching up a little bit. Yeah. I do enjoy his, they don't play the game.
They don't actually play. They don't actually play. Yes, I agree. I can't, Cam.
Outpost
Kyle's calling you out.
Outpost Nerd is wrong. So
Kyle's calling you out, by the way.
And no, Kyle's calling me out? No, he's
Well,
saying it's good.
he's saying good. Yeah, no. He's saying you've been listening.
Yes, that's
No,
right.
he said everything they don't like is bad D&D is the topic. No, I mean I don't think there's a good D&D and bad D&D, but I think there's a good game and a not a game.
Well,
I think that's objective.
And make no mistake, the Sparkle Trolls are the ones that have that attitude.
Yes.
Right? They are the ones that cannot tolerate. They literally have their avatar at WotC saying that we can't wait until these people leave the game. The people who played the game for 40 years, they have to go because we have to.
Isn't Kyle Brink not at WotC anymore?
I don't know, but the point is that happened. This is the attitude didn't go away. They didn't fix anything. All the maybe WotC's better now. It's all garbage. It's all bullshit. It's all a lie.
So. And maybe that's just where you and I differ. When I hear somebody say something profoundly stupid, I look at that and go, man, that guy's a fucking idiot. And then I move on with my life and I don't dwell on it.
Okay, here's the difference, Dan, is I don't care what they think about it. I care what the average person that wanders upon it might think. And I don't want them to get infected.
And that's where I think you're differing. I don't think the average person that wanders upon D&D or role-playing games is going to immediately side with the sparkle unicorns of Reddit, because they're a vocal minority on the internet, and that's not how real people in the real world actually behave and act. The ones that do are such a tiny minority.
I think that is an outdated idea that there's somehow some difference between the internet and the real world at this point. Not for the younger generations. They don't know any difference.
There absolutely
Dan made me do it. Dan made me do it, Matt.
No, he made me do it, Matt. I made him do it, Matt, because he wanted me on, and I was like trying to eat dinner and eat pizza and drink beer. Okay.
Well, no, it's
on my chat's the cooler chat, Matt.
No, mine. Everybody should like.
Lord Mattias, you can come in here and
you've got a link, man. We'd love to have you on here since we're showing your posts.
Yeah, but like I really do believe, like in my heart of hearts, that the internet is not a real place. It's like Dave Chappelle said, "Fuck Twitter. I don't care about Twitter. Twitter's not a real place." Like,
okay, but that's like denying that media doesn't influence the real world. It does.
No, I'm not denying it. It does influence the real world. I would argue that a hot take on how some theater kids play D&D is not really media influencing the world.
How do they get
for every like one new guy that sees that tweet and is like, oh my god, I can't wait to play like Sparkle Troll, whatever, Magic Fairyland, Dungeons and Dragons with my friends where we don't roll dice. You're gonna have 20 people that are tired of 5e that are gonna go onto YouTube and they're gonna be like, how to make 5e not suck, and then they're gonna find like a 10-card video or something, and they're gonna be like, oh, what's a BX? Oh, this is cool.
There is a certain segment that does that, but as Matt was saying, Matt Finch was saying the other day, it's like the OSR or the old school game. It's not going to compete with the $1 billion corporation.
I don't think it needs to. I think it needs to be a sensible. It
doesn't. What I'm saying, that's still going to govern. They are still going to be the gorilla in the room, or whatever metaphor fits. And
hell yeah, Kyle.
We got him.
Kyle's like, I can't handle the shit anymore.
It's again, like it or not, that is going to be what dominates. That they're going to win eventually. Can we survive playing our little games? Yes, we can. Will the OSR be healthy? Probably.
Yeah,
but
because it's decentralized.
Right. And well, I don't know. There were some reports Nerd Cognito was saying today about Paizo collapsing. And
I just saw something.
And I don't give a shit about Paizo.
No. I understand. I'm saying the big guys can collapse.
Right. They can.
Right. And I hope so. Because I want crap to fall by the wayside, and I want the better things to succeed.
Feel better, because you need to rest up, Matt, because you're going to at least show up on Sunday, right?
He's also showing up on Friday for the Conan movie. Realistically, if you're coming out for Conan on Friday and you're coming again on Sunday, you might as well just come out for Saturday too.
I know. I think his kid's got a game that day.
Yeah, whatever. Game's coming. Seeing Wycon with your bros is forever.
Yeah. I mean, when are you going to get to experience that?
Squirrel, Cam, go.
just a quick break here. We have 22 viewers right now, and I'm sure Jeff would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, because we like to have people listen to us.
And you should go
and
subscribe to me because I'm fun.
I don't have a channel.
You're fun.
No, I'm definitely fun.
You were fun. It was fun.
I had fun.
I had fun too.
Except for that little present you left me on Saturday.
Matt is a sweet MFer. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Paizo went in. Paizo's getting screwed because of Diamond, and I don't think the Diamond thing is right. Being able to hold on to consigned inventory that's not yours.
Diamond.
That's a matter for the courts, and that's Paizo's fault for putting all their eggs in that one basket when
Very
Diamond
unethical.
has had problems for years.
Yeah,
I just saw that they were laying off 12 people, and it was
poor.
And they said, "Yeah, it's probably going to be the straight white, white 12 guys."
I feel bad for people that lose their jobs.
I do too.
My wife lost her job in April. Like, it ain't cool. But if they lose millions and millions of dollars of inventory and only 12 people lose their jobs, Also, Paizo's notoriously been kind of a shitty company to work for. They basically had their employees living in like in company sponsored rack housing apartments for the longest time. So I don't give a shit about Paizo. Also, Pathfinder sucks. Hi, Kyle.
Let's give him the floor. Kyle, come in hot.
Yeah. We drew you in.
I'm 3 beers deep. Go.
I've been drinking bourbon and Coke, so look out.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right.
All right, look, here's the thing. Whether or not people are on Twitter doesn't matter. What really matters is the fact that a vast majority of the mainstream knows about Critical Role, right?
Fair.
And I enjoyed Mercer in the early days, this Brendan Lee Mulligan guy. Don't know about him a whole lot. But this is now, you've got WotC as the marquee, and you've got BLM and these guys as the face of D&D now.
By large mansions?
Brendan Lee Mulligan.
Oh.
Jeff, you idiot.
Go ahead. Don't break his flow. Go ahead, Kyle.
So when you've got that kind of situation, it's like, let me step back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
In my previous job, I dealt with the public a lot. I was in sales, right? And every once in a while I'd come across somebody, hey, they play D&D. And I met a lot of people like that. You know how many of them had a Twitter account? 9 out of 10 didn't.
Yeah.
You know how many had heard of Drive Through RPG? 9 out of 10 hadn't.
Yeah.
You know how many had heard of Hyperborea? Almost nobody.
Right.
You know how many people heard of Shadow Dark? Even though her first Kickstarter, she went, over 1 million. Almost nobody. These numbers are completely insignificant when you're looking at Wizards of the Coast and Critical Role.
Right.
And so Critical Role is kind of the face of the hobby. And so when you've got Brendan Lee Mulligan shouting about, you know what, that was so good, you don't need there's no need for a role. I think it really corrupts the perception of what the game is about.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that a dungeon master can't make that call. I think in some cases they might be able to. I don't actually completely disagree with that sentiment. That is not the way I would have handled it. And I think that if they want to be true to the hobby, then they should encourage things that are true to the hobby and not true to performance.
That's
agreed.
Agreed. Yeah. But it's even worse than that. It's not that they just have their own giant platform for that, which, they do. I can't stop them from saying whatever they want. But then you have the ancillary groups like Polygon or whatever that are, again, holding this up for praise as if it's, this grand thing that everyone should be doing and following. And then
it's just, let's just sit around and tell stories.
Yeah.
Right. Why bother having a game? It's just
what I said. It's campfire stories. It's not a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I completely agree with you, Cam. That's really kind of the crux of the issue here, is that they do this, and then the pop gaming mainstream media, so to speak, praises it and says, "Oh my God, this is how you should be doing things now." And unfortunately, if the random mainstream player out in the wild does a Google search, first will be Reddit,
Yeah.
and then will be Polygon.
Well, no, first is going to be the AI response summarizing everything so that they don't have to read Polygon or go to Reddit.
Well, and then
but it will reference those, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Your
yeah.
Your
It'll
AI
just,
will get that, and then your little sources, it'll say 2, and the first one will be Reddit, the second will be Polygon.
yeah.
And you're going to get community notes like that garbage. It's like, oh no, it's completely out of context, and directing people in the wrong way.
Well, the community notes are there, and and I saw those community notes, and maybe I guess people could sit there and accuse me of being biased because I'm a Nerd Cognito team member and co-host, but I really think that yes, Gary said those things, and those are in the rules, but it was but it's like Dan said earlier, it's the fucking context.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, why would they listen to Gary? He's a horrible, unacceptable person, isn't he? So
Except when he isn't.
why would they
mean,
cite him? Right, exactly.
It's whatever the way the wind blows to fit the narrative of what they want to do
at any given second,
So,
right? And
the analogy I'm getting here that Kyle's explaining, which I agree with in that context, is as someone who is so embroiled in the hobby, right, who has been playing it forever, like that thought never really crossed my mind of, oh, what about the new people? Because it's kind of reminiscent of the last time I formatted my computer and I accidentally opened up an internet browser before I had downloaded an ad blocker, and I forgot what the internet was like without an ad blocker because it had been so long since I saw the internet without an ad blocker. It's kind of the same thing, right?
Like, I mean, think about the con we just went to, right?
Yeah.
How many people were there? 600, right?
700 or so, probably a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, and compare that to something like San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
It's a drop in the bucket. That's
right.
And yet we were hanging out.
Hang on, no, time out. If you're going to compare apples to apples, at least be honest with yourself. You don't compare San Diego Comic-Con to fucking North Texas. You compare San Diego Comic-Con to GaryCon, which had like 87,000 people at it last year.
Okay, well there you go. But how many of those people are old school and all and
probably an awful lot, but also I don't go to GaryCon because the thought of going to Indianapolis with 87,000 people of questionable personal hygiene is terrible.
Do you mean Gen Con, Dan?
Sorry, GaryCon also has some smelly people in it, but yes, Gen Con.
I think GaryCon's probably a lot.
GaryCon's 3,500.
You could have ended with the thought of going to Indianapolis. I would have stopped there.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you can't.
I got family there. I'm sorry.
At least compare apples to apples on that one. But
my point is we are a small drop in the bucket. They are the face and the front, and that's what people go. Oh, D&D,
and
it's for the same
time. Someone starts playing 5e, someone else is like, man, this game sucks, and then they start looking for other options. It's a natural progression down the assembly line.
I don't know that it's a 1-to-1 or they just at all. It's more like 1,000 to 1.
I don't know. Who knows? But maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But
I just don't think that there's, for a lot of people, they don't even know other games exist.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, they literally think that D&D is the only tabletop role-playing game out there.
Yeah.
And they're not interested in gaming a lot of times either. They're interested in the lifestyle D&D, right?
And it's actually this kind of relates to something that I've been dealing with over the last few weeks personally, is just how much do I really care anymore? At one point I felt like that I kind of had an obligation as, maybe not an OG because I didn't start in 74, but I started in 79, which wasn't far removed. That I could at least maybe impart some wisdom or some alternatives or give my point of view to younger people, and maybe it would have an impact.
Yeah.
I being a Gen Xer though, I'm also kind of at the point now where I'm just kind of like, does it really fucking matter?
Well, I agree with someone who's like, I ain't got time for this crap. Life's too short,
Apathy is a killer.
It's not so much apathy as it is just like, I got better shit to do.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, and instead of sitting here and arguing with some, you know, dumb fuck on X about, you know, whether or not Brent BLM should have rolled fucking dice, I just want to play a fucking game.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why I don't have a Twitter account.
But once again, I don't care about the moron.
For a guy who doesn't
trying
have
to
a
do-
Twitter account, you do a really good job of arguing with people.
I just do a really good job
Amazing.
of arguing.
Yeah, Dan just does it in a different format. But it's again, the moron on X that is saying stupid things is just an opportunity to give a counter view. That's the way I look at it. I don't care. I don't engage with them. You know, I'm saying it for the others.
On
You know, other people that might see it.
on like a higher level though, arguing on the internet is you're not going to change anybody's mind.
Exactly.
Really.
Very rarely.
It serves no purpose.
It takes one, it takes a rare individual eloquent enough to do it, and two, it takes a person receptive enough
Yeah.
to change their mind from another person's opinion, right? And that
Right.
doesn't happen very often. I like to think that I'm pretty open-minded. That being said, it's probably not true.
Yeah. So, in general, I would rather just try to expose people to cool games whenever I can,
Right.
than spend my time in the cesspool that is Twitter or X or Blue Sky or Reddit or any of that crap. Because it's why I don't go to the OSR subreddit, right? Like it's infested. It's awful. It's terrible.
You wouldn't last there long, Dan. They'd ban you pretty quick.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
Reddit is a
that's
cesspool.
just the way Reddit is. It's Reddit used to be good back in early 2000s.
The only good TTRPG related subreddit is RPG Trade, where you can buy books for usually semi-reasonable prices. That's it. The rest of Reddit's worthless.
Yeah, I never go to Reddit.
So,
Well, oddly enough, I really don't engage with the RPG fandom that much other than...
are you sure? Because you saw this tweet. You got so fired up. Jeff was like,
Well,
Dan, stop eating dinner with your family. Get on now.
As I was saying, except for certain things. Like, again, I've been reading a lot of the Nerd Cognito stuff lately, and I think, you know, the point being made there consistently is valid. I like it.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm not going to go seek out Sparkle Trolls to tell them how to live their lives. It's like that is beyond hope, you know. I mean,
you won't have to. You post one thing on X and they'll find you.
Yeah. And they'll scream at you and they'll block you.
Yeah. I mean, look at Nerd Cognito, right? There's not a Sparkle Troll in the world that's following Nerd Cognito except out of hate.
Sure.
And then it gets community notes. It gets quote tweeted. I don't know how many times, but all these people screaming about, you know, this is bullshit. This guy's an asshole. He doesn't know how to play, and all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's like I think my friend and partner Ryan knocked it out of the park personally.
Well, the thing that I found interesting about that is he got pushback from some of the old school guys because, again, they weren't quite picking up on the nuance of what he was saying because they thought he was saying, wait, what do you mean you can't skip a roll? You know, but that wasn't the point. They weren't just skipping a roll. They were doing it for a stupid reason.
Right. I agree.
All right.
Yep. I agree.
All right. Show's over.
Then the moral of the story is play games that are fun. People on the internet are dumb. Don't let it stress you out too much. Just do things that you enjoy because it could all end tomorrow.
See, I thought the moral of the story was that idiots with the stupid puppet show can, yeah. Was it? Oh, at any rate, I screwed it up.
The
Yes,
moral
you
of
did.
the story is don't get in a Cybertruck with people that you don't know very well.
I know. But you know, well, hey, yeah, that was fun. That was
Squirrel.
that was fun. Hey, I didn't scroll. I wasn't the one who scrolled.
No, I did. I'm sorry.
I just like making fun of Jeff.
He does. He just tries to get my goat. That's okay. But
That's right. You know who got you good though was those damn sleeping chickens.
Well, I think it got you more than him.
Dan keeps
Cam,
talking about it.
Cam, have you ever been in a room sleeping at 4 a.m. when suddenly a grown-ass man sits up and starts yelling about the chickens needing to get back in the chicken coop?
I can't
Well-
say that I have.
Only once, but I was young and needed the money.
Shit. I can't wait. I can't wait till next weekend when we're at CNYCon. Ugh.
You know what we all
People
need
are
to
gonna go,
do?
how's those chickens doing?
We all need to go to conventions and just register, like run games and register them as Dungeons and Dragons, but don't put an edition on. No one will know. And then just like make them play BX or OD&D or
Right,
1E or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Well, we'd have to go to some of the other kind of cons though.
If I go to North Texas Con next year, Dan, I'm bringing like a big fucking bag of feathers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give them to you, and you can just do what you will.
Thank you.
Shit.
Are you bringing tar also? What's...
No, just feathers.
Just feathers, just chicken feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig. A couple days CNYCon. Woo.
Yeah.
He's not a carpetbagger. He's just weird. I'm fucking with you, Jeff.
Mm. Hey man, no, it's all good. It's all fair in gaming.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, yeah. No, not really.
No freaks, no flyers, no furries.
That's right. That's
I guess, Cam, sum up what we've determined here today.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, Cam.
Dan doesn't care.
No, Dan does care. Dan just thinks Twitter's stupid.
Okay, I disagree. I understand the internet crap. Like I feel the same way about Reddit. It's like I'm not going over Reddit. It's the garbage.
Mhm.
But I don't know that the venue is really the issue. The issue is the issue, right? You know, and I think Kyle made the point that we are on the outside now, and these are not people that are content with live and let live. You know, again, do you care what a Sparkle Troll game master does at his table? No,
No, not really.
They seem to really have it out for you though, and they want and it's not, you know, again, oh, my table is my table. Well, no, my table has to be what WotC puts out, and if not, then they're bigots and everything else. You know, At some point, I guess I've written WotC off. You know, I'm done with them. You know, I'm not going back. I'm not going to take the bait myself.
There was a glint of hope, but it was quickly dashed.
Can I offer a hot take that might be slightly too spicy for you two?
I fucking warned you guys, but go ahead, Dan.
I don't care if someone doesn't like my thoughts if they don't know what bathroom they're supposed to use.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, but I mean, again, it's no man is an island. You know, I would like to see the younger generation experience
teach them
role-playing games. You know, well, yeah, okay. Talking about it, Dan, and pointing out the issues is part of that.
Right.
And
but what's more important than that is actually finding them and teaching them. I'm teaching my 7-year-old niece swords and wizardry.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, and that 12-year-old kid, you know, he probably is going to go, Dad, we got to go back next year. Right. Dan might be there. And that's just, I got to make sure I sign up for his game. You know,
I should probably run a game instead of playing games.
You probably should.
I probably should run like 10 games. Maybe I'll get a free badge.
I think there's a certain amount of truth to that. I think that, but I also kind of feel like, you know, back in the day, especially with AD&D and the Player's Handbook and DMG by Gary Gygax, first edition, right? Mm-hmm. There was a bit of a barrier to entry because if you weren't educated enough to understand what was being written, the high Gygaxian thing, right? This damn internet.
Big wizards trying to take you out, Kyle.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to shut me up. It's all a conspiracy.
Online.
My tinfoil hat's in the wash. But it was a situation where, you know, if you couldn't do math, if you couldn't understand descending armor class and you couldn't understand big words, or at least have a dictionary so that you could figure out what they meant and put in the effort to do so, you were kind of excluded in a way, and not like directly, but indirectly. So in a way, it was a form of gatekeeping. I see what's happening now. The players that really love this hobby, the modern players, the younger players that are out there, they're going to find the Hyperboreas and the Swords and Wizardries and the Lamentations of the Flame Princess, because they're not going to be satisfied with what WotC is delivering. They're going to be few and far between.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And preserving that small core is worth doing. And like
Right.
Dan said, you know,
And bringing up the
recruit
subjects,
Mhm.
saying, first of all, we were doing this to begin with, but we were doing it selectively and when it made sense and when it actually applied.
And none of it was intentional. It was just, I mean, it's the whole reason I got shoved in lockers and beat up as a kid, right?
Yeah.
But now
Now we're getting shoved in lockers and beat up as adults.
Jeff, what happened after I left North Texas?
In regards to, more market-based, more money from the corporate aspect is taken over. It's like we have to expand the core base as much as possible, which means we need to dumb the product down.
Yeah.
So that it's accessible for more people. Because if we don't do that, then it will always remain a niche. And when you start getting into the realm of, well, you know what, you don't really have to do die rolls. This is absolutely fantastic, because if a player just says some lines that are moving enough to the DM, then that's just like a natural 20, and everybody praises that, then that encourages that sort of marketing mindset. It widens the gates even more, right? Whereas personally, I prefer to kind of narrow those gates a little bit more. And it's like,
be a little more selective.
Yeah. It's not even about whether or not you agree with me, because I don't care about that as much. It's more about, I want people who legitimately care about this game and love it.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. But let me present.
Gatekeeping your table is a good thing.
Gatekeeping my table is a good thing, and I don't care if you play the way I do. But if somebody else plays differently than me, but they legitimately have passion for this hobby, I'm okay with you.
But one thing I want to bring up is, if you didn't have guys like Matt Finch that kind of launched if we didn't have the OSR today, right? Where would things be? This perception that WotC and Critical Role and everybody would kind of govern. We'd still have our games. We'd have our old first edition whatever that we're playing by ourselves, but there would be no growth at all. The OSR is a little bit of growth, which is fine.
It's more than a little.
Okay, but true. But it is a distinct minority. And then it's D&D isn't even primarily seen as a game by most of these people. It's just a thing that they do. Oh, look, I made up a character. And have you ever played? Yeah, I played once. And it's a lifestyle. It's what it is. It's just a brand that is for selling merch. If you value the game, I guess what I'm saying is, but for the grace of the OSR, it would be almost over at this point. We would die off, and that would be it.
The OSR may be a small niche percent by comparison of the sales of tabletop gaming merchant or stuff, but but volumetrically it dwarfs what WotC is doing and what Paizo is doing. I mean,
you mean the number of products and things?
There is just so much, and so much better. I mean, how many WotC? Have you ever tried to run a WotC module?
Yes, they're terrible.
The
last good module that WotC made was Red Hand of Doom in 3rd edition.
Yeah, because they're incomplete. They're not. It's like
they're complete in all the wrong ways.
But I mean, it's like if you follow it as written, you're going to give up on it because the players are going to get bored with it, and it's just like,
So to Squirrel Hermit, gatekeeping vetting is certainly not a bad fun practice. I disagree completely. It's not a bad fun practice. This is me valuing my time on this earth and wanting to spend my limited resource that I was allotted by God on this earth doing the things that I love and enjoy with the people that I love and enjoy. I don't want to play an TTRPG or run a TTRPG for someone who's going to sit around and screw around on their phone the whole time.
True.
I want to play it with people that are going to be invested and have fun like I am. I want to spend my time on this earth with my wife and my family, and apparently with my friends on the internet bitching about nerds on Twitter. That being said, that is a form of gatekeeping, and that is not a bad thing. Valuing yourself and your time is the best thing a person can do.
Yeah, there is something to be
100%.
said for having discriminating tastes, you know, and that's basically what we do. We're not discriminating. We're not telling them that they can't. Did Kyle drop again?
There's another issue though. As I've lost
I
game
have Google
groups.
Fiber. What the hell?
It's Restream.
I have 3 gig Google Fiber. What the hell?
Jesus Christ! I'm here. I'm on my little 400 meg.
I've lost game groups because of things like changing from 3rd edition to 4th edition or 4th edition to 5th edition.
Edition
what
wars,
these companies do have impacted me. So I can't say, okay, I find different people to play with, but it's not all that easy. Sometimes as you get older, especially, you're playing with these guys,
you move.
Right.
That's
Sure.
what I ran into.
There's all kinds of reasons, so I would prefer there to be a more robust pool of people to play with.
I agree.
Because of Jeff, he's brought me in to play with you guys, and I appreciate it. I really am enjoying it. Yeah. But I can't pretend that what they do doesn't affect me at all. I can say screw you, I'm not going to buy from you, whatever. But it has. It's split it has split gaming groups that I was part of.
Yeah, and we got Kyle on now too. So and we have.
I just saw a cool game
person
with a great DM, and I was like, I'm gonna invite myself into this, and I normally don't invite myself into things, but
I'm proud of you for doing it.
I was just like, I want to be part of this so bad, because Dan, you really remind me of the way that games were run when I was young. You're taking me back to the early '80s, man.
That's how I ran it when I was young, and I'm just a giant man child, so that's how I still run it.
We can't wait for you to run a game, Kyle.
I saw this and I was like, oh my god, this is exactly how we played. Oh my god, and the nostalgia just swept over me, and I was like, okay, if you'll let me in, I'm rolling up a PC.
In regards to Hyperborea, Erudite was talking about that he played some Hyperborea with a guy at North Texas, and
he did.
And
in the same game,
right? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. And I started thinking, man, there could be a whole continuing Hyperborea thing with who knows how many people getting it. I started getting, it's like, oh, this could really turn into something, So Dan, you lit the fuse here, buddy.
There you go. See,
and that's the beautiful thing about the world that Jeff Talanian made, is it's very open. He didn't make a world with tens and hundreds of thousands of pages of lore. He made a cool world, and there's 10 adventures, and then he said, go forth and make it yours.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there's something to be said for that too, because Gods of the Forbidden North, geez, that dude, he's awesome.
His name is Rob Alderman. He's awesome.
He is. Rob is he's fun to hang out with too. but he did write those hundreds of thousands of pages, but he gave a world
hundreds of thousands. It's 12
thousands, 12 to 1600. I don't know. It was discussed. I forgot. We were drinking. But yeah, ultimately, when you have all 3 volumes, it's,
but even then, think about Gods of the Forbidden North, 1,200 pages. Now go think about Forgotten Realms. That's hundreds of thousands of pages of lore.
Yeah, it is. And Ed Greenwood still adds to it every day.
And that goes back to your thing that you mentioned earlier about running a game for someone who knows the rules or knows the world more than you do, and how it can be a giant pain in the ass. I agree.
That is true. Because it's a very intimidating thing that you just have to get over with.
Yep.
And be like, well, okay, maybe in your canon, that happened, but no, this happened. It has not happened, or will not happen, or I don't like Dragonborn. I just don't. I have a distaste for them.
I don't like them either. I don't like tieflings. I don't like gnomes.
Gnomes have been around though since the early days. So
I don't give a shit. I still don't like them.
I like lizard folk, but part of that's because A, lizards are cool, but B, the original, or not, I guess it's not the original, but the second TSR logo, the little
Yeah.
lizard man.
Yeah.
When I started playing, we kind of did a mashup of AD&D and BX because I mean they were both kind of concurrent at the time.
Yeah.
And so I mean, for me, if you're going to play anything non-human, and as I've grown, I prefer a human-centric kind of game, much like
Right.
Hyperborea.
Yeah.
But if you're going to have alternative races, elf, dwarf, halfling, period, end of story.
Those are
Elf,
kind of my
dwarf,
favorites.
halfling.
I like one of those three.
You like dwarves. I know
like
you like
dwarves.
dwarves.
You don't like elves.
No, elves are eco-terrorists.
Dan is an elf hater.
But
I like dwarves.
Edgelord said Hyperborea is the way 1E should be played. And that's what drew me to it. Edgelord
Yeah,
is
same.
like, I'm watching these guys. I'm like, this is just 1E kind of reskinned with a few modifications. I know 95% of this by heart.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
play
it's
this
very
game.
similar to one.
I was like, I can so play this game. And that's why I was like, hey guys, alms for the poor.
Yeah. And I was like, oh hell yeah, let Kyle in. Absolutely, it would be an honor. And we've even I think we even when we had you on the stream on the show on the Bad News Bards.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Yeah, I'd love to. I'm hoping maybe you can run a game at some point. For us and.
Maybe when we finish up this one, I'm probably going to sit out for a little while. I got some stuff going on. It's mostly work related.
Yeah.
And but I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I'll still be in the Discord. We'll talk. We'll figure something
it
out.
out.
I don't know what the hell I'd run. If I run something, it's not going to be an indie game. It's going to be like a BX or a Beckme or
Hell yeah.
AD&D or something
I'm
like
down.
that. I
I'm
mean,
down.
that's what I would be doing, just because that's my wheelhouse, right? I mean,
I think games are most fun when the person running it is running something they love.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. But it was fun running Shadow Dark. I enjoyed it. And
I think Shadow Dark is a great game.
Yeah.
Me too.
I had fun running it. It was, the adventure was good. I think there was things that probably would have been better not using Roll20 on it. Might have helped a little. Because of the way the map is and all that stuff. But
yeah.
But it is what it is.
Dan, have you ever run a game like old school where you've got like a lot of players and it's persistent and not necessarily time equal real time or anything, but that style of game that's different groups maybe all kind of
like a West
interacting
Marches
together?
or Blackmore type game?
Yeah, I had a 3.5 game in college that had anywhere between 12 and 14 people in it. Not all at the same time, but varying people. We didn't necessarily do the strict 1-to-1 time, but we did kind of more of like, on last week's episode of Dragon Ball Z, this shit happened and now here we are type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like I said, talking yesterday, I started to get that glint in my eye. It's like, man, maybe that's a possibility. There's enough. I mean, people seem to really like Hyperborea, so
it's pretty great.
It is. Talanian's a great guy too. And
he
and I did not die. We would have died together. Two Jeffs.
I can tell you a really funny and quick Jeff Talanian story from North Texas.
Sure.
I was in a great Hyperborea game being run by Morgan. I don't remember Morgan's last name, but he's a really cool dude. Mm-hmm. He ran a game where we were a contingent of cataphracts in Chromarium trying to keep the peace in the city on a night of much cosmic chaos and nonsense. And it was really fun. He had a lot of like different leads we could follow, and each of the I should just make a video about this because this game was so awesome.
You should.
But it was funny because Talanian came in at one point during the game and he sat down at the head of the table and he was just watching because they have a Hyperborea boardroom, which was great. And at one point, someone rolled a crit fail, and Morgan was like, "No, I'm not going to make you roll to confirm the crit." And Jeff started just busting on him. He was like, "What is this? See if he throws the wet." It was hilarious. It was good fun.
Oh my god!
So every time someone rolled a 1, we just started busting on Morgan. It was a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If I were to run a game, it would probably be, I would either go straight up old school and like Dan said, it wouldn't be OSR, just be OS.
Yeah.
Or I would be very tempted to run DCC.
I would play in a DCC game.
I like a lot of things about DCC. In particular, I like the magic system.
Yeah. It's you know, to bring it full circle, Professor DM actually was talking about DCC in his most recent video, I think.
Was he? I haven't
And
watched him for years. I've seen
yeah,
some of 'em.
he said even if you're playing something other than, even if you're playing fifth edition still, you can go and take the magic system from DCC. You can go take the spell, even if you only take the spells and make them scrolls that people discover in your non DCC game. It will just it will expand the universe so much more,
I
and make it more interesting.
the biggest thing I like about the DCC magic system is that you no longer have a one shot and done or a glass cannon kind of magic user. It's like you have the capability to cast. If you know magic missile or sleep, you can cast it as many times as you want, but every time you do, there's a risk involved.
Yeah, and that's kind of Shadow Dark kind of takes that into, you could lose that spell if you crit fail.
Yeah, this one here, it's like you don't lose the spell, but you could wind up with
Going
serpent
up in your
eyes
face.
or a forked tongue or tentacles for arms.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be.
It's like depends on what happens, because there's this sort of magical corruption that happens, and I really like this idea of sorcery and magic as being you are violating the laws of nature, and if you don't perform everything distinctly and correctly, there will be a price to be paid, and most often it is not. It's not
Not
fun.
pretty,
Yeah,
not pretty results. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and it really, it accomplishes two things. One is it makes magic users more useful in in low levels campaigns and low level adventures, because now they can do more than just cast one spell and then they're done for the day. But at the same time, it makes magic extremely dark and dangerous. It's really old school 70s 80s heavy metal kind of shit.
Well, and when I was talking to Talanian at North Texas, um, we were talking. He asked what I was playing. I said I'm playing because I was bragging on Dan. I was like, oh yeah, Dan, the co-host on my show. He's running the Hyperborea game on a stream that we're on,
Thanks, buddy.
and yeah, no, and he's like, yeah, send me a link. I'd love to watch it. So I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I was, he asked what I was playing. I said, oh, I'm playing a Cryomancer. He said, yeah, one of the things I wanted to do is give each class something that kept it unique and was unique, even with the subclasses. Like the Cryomancer has the ice, dagger, knife, whatever you want to call it, thing
Mhm.
that
Plus
can
different
also.
plus different spells that it has access to.
Right. And so yeah, and there's different, there are certain spells that are unique to specific caster classes or subclasses. And he's like, every class should have some stuff that's unique to just them.
Yep.
And I said, yes, absolutely. I love that. That is awesome, because that's the way it should be. That's one of my biggest complaints about what fifth edition has become, and 5.5 is just,
Oh yeah,
hold my beer, let's go all the way in. When your fighter can cast spells, what the fuck's the
Well,
point?
the other thing that's cool
Why-
about it too is every single class has like an analog that would traditionally be represented by a multi-class. And
that's
AD&D.
that's
Mhm.
exactly what I was going to say, Dan.
Yeah.
Is that instead of resorting to you keep it human centric, and instead of resorting to elves, dwarves, halflings, or whatever that can multi-class, the the purloiner is a cleric thief.
Yep.
Yeah.
The shaman is a cleric mage,
Right.
or a druid necromancer.
Or a druid necromancer. Yeah.
Yes.
And so it really encompasses that. I think that was an absolutely brilliant move
Mhm.
by Jeff Talanian. I mean, I firmly believe that, but yeah, you said exactly what.
Yeah, you don't have to have mess with multi-class characters. In fact, I don't even know. I haven't even looked to see if multi-classing is possible. It
It's
may
not.
not be.
It's not. It's not
Yeah.
because the subclasses cover
Cover
that.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
By design.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the stats, then you can be,
All that you can
whatever. Yeah, well, you can be whatever. You can be the the paladins this, the rangers that, the berserkers this.
Yeah.
It encompasses all those old multi classes that we knew before, the fighter magic user and the cleric thief or the cleric assassin even.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I was going to pick up a hard copy of it, but
They sold out really quick.
they did, and the other problem is because I was flying and I was doing all carry on,
Yeah.
and not going to pay extra money. I was on a shoestring budget. Yeah, I was like, I hope to God somebody's selling it at CNY so I can pick up a copy up there.
Yeah, well, next year you just fucking leave a day early and you come to Kansas City and we'll car ride together down
There
to
you go.
Dallas.
It'd probably be easier for me to fly from Knoxville into Kansas City than freaking getting out of Dallas. Jesus Christ.
DFW just sucks, dude.
Oh,
Every time I fly into
what
the
a
airport, it sucks.
horrible airport! And
Yeah.
I mean, I heard all the stories because I was hanging out with a couple of guys, and one of them
Cam, you should come too.
was
Yes, we should.
definitely.
Thinking about it.
You should, dude. Yeah, yeah. We'll give you a horse mask or something like at most once.
Nah.
Oh my goodness.
We just won't say who you are.
I look forward to giving Cam a hug.
Hey, you gave me a hug. I got a hug from Heidi Gygax too. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And she's a sweetheart. Everybody there. Alan Hammock. I fucking played a game with Alan Hammock, and it wasn't even a role playing game.
But that's the best part about like cons like that, though. Like,
yeah.
we're all just a bunch of nerds.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
I'm sure there's a couple people that are like, in fact, I know of at least one that's a holier than thou asshole that was a dickhead in the elevator. I won't say his name, but everybody else, super cool, super chill, super approachable. It's just a bunch of nerds playing games.
Merle, I'm gonna get Merle on. I already told him I'm gonna get you on my show.
Merle's definitely the best dressed of the con.
Oh my god! Well, so the first time I ran across him, and I'll show pictures of this eventually. I think they're on my Facebook. I know you don't do Facebook, but I think I'll do a stream or something like that when I get back to CNY. He was wearing a T-shirt that was a tuxedo. The next time I saw him, he was wearing an actual tuxedo. He had been awarded with a I don't know, like the Canadian equivalent of the CIA or whatever. Like a little.
What is that, like the secret goose police or something?
Yeah, something like that. And he was, so he posed. I got a picture of him posing with that. And he's like, yeah, because he wrote Top Secret.
Squirrel.
So.
Who, Rasmussen?
Yeah.
He was there.
He was there.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, dude.
Top Secret back in the day was one of my favorite fucking games.
In fact, he bought a book from the guys that I went to, the guys that drove me to the airport, so I didn't have to take the stupid shuttle.
Oh my god! I wish I still had my Top Secret books.
Oh yeah, he'd sign it for you, no problem.
Oh,
I mean, it's just like that's the community we are.
Yeah,
we are not
just a bunch of good people.
We are not the
and one dick.
Yeah, we are not.
I wasn't there for the record.
I got to find out who you're talking about, but we won't name names on stream for that.
No, we won't name names on stream
because you never know. I might invite them on the stream, and then Dan will be like,
I can play nice with anybody. I'm in consulting.
Jeff, you have a mission now. Edgelord says he guarantees he will be the best dressed at CNY.
Who?
Yeah,
Edgelord will be, or
Edgelord will be. So you have to get a photo of you and Edgelord.
Okay.
Jeff's gonna be like the duality though, and he's going to be the least dressed at CNY and just be running around in a loincloth.
We're not supposed to talk about the midnight auction.
never go full James Raggy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't you remember
Lamentations.
what happens at the midnight
game.
auction stays at the midnight. Although I did, and I sent Tenkar the video that I had of.
I saw he posted it as members only
Yes,
content.
it's members only content. So if you want to see just 2 minutes of the midnight auction, the type of shit that happens there, you need to be a subscriber of Eric Tenkar. Tenkar's
Yep, for just $9.99 a month at Only Nerds.
it only nerds. Yeah, I have some pictures from that. And you trust me, you didn't want to see the guy in the. Who was that guy? What was his name? Because
That was Mike Battleotto's brother.
Oh, okay. Was it Mike's brother?
Yes.
Running around and was that a cloth diaper or what was that?
I don't know, Jeff. I wasn't looking that closely.
I was like, I'm blind. Where's the bleach? But but it was a blast. I had fun.
Anyway,
so I'm going to jump off here soon. Cam, do you have any final thoughts on this whole?
No, I just I really, the part that interests me most is that this is talking about game mechanics and how you run games, at its core. If you strip out all the other nonsense, there's a lot to do with when you roll, why you roll, stuff like that. So I'm always interested in that kind of thing.
If you just want to tell stories, sit around and fucking tell stories. It's not a game.
There's that too. Yeah.
Well, and like I said in my earlier comment in the chat, I would give the player, if they were particularly eloquent,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really well done by them, I would give them a +4 bonus to a 2d6 reaction roll.
Sure, and it doesn't even have to be a +4. It could be, it depends on,
No, I would give them +4, and here is why: because the worst they can get is a 6.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And a 6 is neutral, or cautious, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to have a negative reaction.
Okay.
And that's if they roll a 2. Now, the odds of rolling a 2 on 2d6, I won't go into the probabilities of that, but everybody knows what that's it.
I will. 1 in 36.
1 in 36, right? Okay. So odds are they're going to roll higher than that, which means it's more than likely they're going to have at least a positive reaction of some kind.
Right.
If they have a charisma bonus, I would even attach that to it. Mm-hmm. So if they've got a +1 or a +2, then that bumps it up even more. And you don't need to say, that was so great, I'd rule that as a natural 20. You don't have to do that if you just use a fucking 2d6 reaction roll and you reward the player because they did a really good job of role playing and explaining themselves, and give them a fucking +4 bonus.
And what you're describing is refereeing, not throwing out the rules. You're right. You're applying the rules, not ignoring them. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's important. Yeah. I think I loved I thought your solution was eloquent. I think that goes right to the heart of
grounded
the way
in
to
math,
do it.
which is the best part.
Yeah. Makes you. I'm sure it gets.
Well,
gets you hot and bothered.
It satisfies everything. I mean, Sparkle Trolls can't really argue against it. Old school players can't really argue against it. It's like you're using the rules. It says in the rules that the DM can assign a bonus for
Sure.
For whatever, right? Okay. I give you a +4, roll 2d6. Oh, you got an 8. That's a +4. It's a 12. They are 100% behind you.
Yep.
End of fucking story. There's no controversy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it deflates the whole argument all the way up. Yep.
Run games. Don't tell stories.
Yes.
The game run well becomes the story, and you will remember it forever.
Yes.
Yep.
Like the 12-year-old kid that sacrificed an entire city above to save his own ass.
Don't blame him a bit. I felt that's very metal of him.
That was so metal. That kid was awesome.
All right. Well, Kyle, thanks for jumping on. In the end, after all, it was great having you.
Pissed.
I know. I figured, between Dan and Cam, they might be able to pull you out of the weeds. Hey, you're welcome on anytime, buddy. And maybe we'll have a more normal time, but instead of random. But maybe we'll keep it random. Who knows? Maybe we'll plan it and make it look like it's.
If you could give me more than 45 minutes heads up, that would be great.
Okay, Cam, you heard him. You heard him.
I don't think that's an unreasonable request for a man with a wife and a child and who happens to have to cook dinner most nights.
Jeff is the one that said, "Wait, we got to pull things." I was ready to just go. I didn't make anybody come in here. I appreciate it, but
Well,
Cam's like LFG.
I didn't want to be in a situation where it was just Cam and I either agreeing the whole way or
me yelling at Jeff.
I think
or him yelling at me.
It turned out it was 4 guys agreeing the whole way.
Well, yeah, but at least we had different takes on
disagreed
stuff.
with a lot, and kind of meta disagreed, I guess, with the.
I disagreed with the lack of nuance on some of the hot takes on Twitter by people that have an IQ of about room temperature.
Yeah. What do you guys have coming up?
Hold one second. Not to rehash it all, but Mike Merles is one of these people, right? I mean, you can't like him or not, and I have nothing against him. He was a major influence on that game.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's all well and good.
His hot takes were bad.
No, hang on. That tweet was poorly worded and was done with a room temperature IQ.
That doesn't mean he has a room temperature IQ.
But that tweet was.
Sure.
He was not.
Words are important. You should use good ones.
People judge you by the words you use, and people critique what you say.
And the first edition DMG should be required reading by 2nd grade, because by the time you figure it out in 4th grade, you'll be reading at a college level, and the world will be a better place.
That's true.
Kyle, what do you have coming up? Did you guys do the show, the big show this week?
Yeah, that dropped this morning.
Did it?
Yeah, tune into that. You can find us on all major podcast providers. Just search Nerd Cognito. You can follow us on X.
And then what's Saturday?
Saturday will be the Speakeasy. I will be out actually. I talked to you earlier about this week's kind of.
Yeah, hectic.
My time is hectic and everything right now. I had blocked out Monday night for the game. That didn't happen because of the flight delays, which is perfectly understandable. I don't blame anybody for that. I will not be around this coming weekend for the Saturday Speakeasy, nor will I be on next Tuesday's show. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'm going to try to make it on the next one, but I got a lot of stuff on the schedule for the month of June. And yeah, I mean, I've been talking to Ryan. We've been trying to figure things out. I just can't promise anything at this point, but absolutely. If you're not subbed to Nerd Cognito, which really kind of, started this whole thing, at least from Cam's point of view.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely sub to Nerd Cognito, check it out, because, those are the kinds of things that you'll see, thought-provoking things and things that'll kind of bring attention to comments and other stories that you may not have heard about. Nerd Cognito, in my opinion, and although I'm biased, we're always kind of ahead of the curve on things. We have a pretty good track record of being ahead of the curve, sometimes too far.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
But Ryan, regardless of what you think, Ryan's a great dude. I've been friends with him for over 3 years now, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
And not everybody on the chat agrees with everything either. There's, but when it comes down to brass tacks, it's like you read the X posts and you think, oh, this guy's not going to listen to anybody else, but Ryan will. Yeah, Ryan will straight up. Yeah, he may tear your argument apart, but he's not doing it out of spite. He's doing it out of legitimate.
Yeah. If your argument and your opinions aren't good enough to stand up to cross-examination, then it's not a good argument or opinion.
Yeah,
sure.
But sure. We're probably one of the few shows that'll sit here and come from the perspective that we do, and yet over 2 years ago, we brought Daniel D. Fox onto our show and had an interview.
Yeah.
Right. And at the end of the interview, it's like, okay, we're never going to vote the same way this guy does, but he loves games. We love games. And we really found a common ground. It's one of my proudest moments of being part of that show, is that it really showed a willingness on our part to kind of bridge certain gaps between the sort of the new school, so to speak, and the old school, or at least, one side of the aisle and the other side of the aisle. where
Yep.
I really think it's one of my proudest moments on that show that we demonstrated. It's like, you know what, we are willing to talk to anybody in a good faith sort of fashion.
Absolutely.
If you're willing to come to us with good faith, we're willing to give you the same, and we'll have a conversation. We may not agree, but we're going to have a conversation, and and both sides can kind of maybe come to some sort of reckoning,
Or at least make their points and let the
yeah,
audience decide.
let the chips fall where they may, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's kind of Ryan and you have been an inspiration for me, and one of the reasons Dungeon Delver, a lot of the guys, the old school guys out there, have all. That's kind of I want to have all these different people, and we're the same way, man. Anybody wants to come on, we're more than happy to have you. And I'm going to get Ryan on one of these days. Hopefully his voice gets better, because I heard he's.
I'll put a bug in his ear the next time I talk to him.
Yeah. I want
tomorrow.
you.
I think I'm going to call him tomorrow. I don't know if he'll answer or not.
Yeah, well, he might not be able to talk from what.
Well, that's the thing. And sometimes I call and he's like, I can't talk right now.
No. Like physically might not be able to talk.
Oh, well, that's true too.
Yeah. From what he, because I messaged him and he's like, oh man, I can't talk right now. Literally can't talk. So can't speak. So, but yeah, man. And Nerd Cognito is exclusively on Rumble. So you do have to
for the Saturday Speakeasy, yeah. And if you want to watch, if you want to see video of our big show podcast, that's available on Spotify or Rumble.
Yeah.
Rumble's preferred. But we are in the we won an award for 2025. We were in the top 25% of all podcasts on Spotify.
Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations.
Which is we were we were shocked, and then two, we were like, oh wow, that's cool.
Sweet. That is awesome.
So,
that is awesome. So there's a bigger audience than what I'm used to seeing than that we're hanging out with in the chat.
Sometimes we're amazed at the the audience that we have, but we welcome everyone. And if you like I said, if you come to the table with good faith, we're willing to talk about anything.
Yep, and that's awesome. All right, Kyle. Well, you take care. Have a good night, and let me know when you want to come on next. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in the Monday game or not next Monday because of.
I believe.
Okay, Jeff, you need to be there.
You do.
Okay, so I'm going to have to stop at a rest area.
Or just make someone else drive for an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Okay. We'll talk.
Did you see Discord? I talked about killing your character. You better show up.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You know what's good for you.
I have not. I've not. I've been at North Texas, and I have not been much in the Discord.
I'm not going to kill your character.
Okay.
He won't, but I might.
Well, Matt's character definitely has suspicions of me. So, I think he's.
I think you all have beautiful suspicions of each other, and it's a great time to run that game. I have so much fun.
Oh, you have no idea, Dan. I've got ideas, man.
I'm having a blast.
Beautiful. I could run this game for a year for you guys. It'd be awesome.
I would play this game for a year. So good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for hopping on, brother. Good to see you.
Hey, you too, and thank you guys for having me. And I hope
anytime.
Nope.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't care if you pissed anybody off. You were a blast as always.
I'll see you.
All right, see you, man.
I did call people, like everybody on entire social media platforms, idiots. So I think I win that one.
Well, I mean, I did call, BLM a moron. So, Mr. Mulligan, I think you are. Sorry, but for many, many reasons.
He said BLM, and I was like, bigger, larger mansions.
Well, that's what I said. I actually said that. I said, buy large mansions.
I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think I'm gonna hop off too. I think we've
run around
circles enough.
Everybody like and subscribe and share.
Me.
And to The Bad News Bards. It is now officially The Bad News Bards is the channel name now.
Well, that's weird. It says at Tennessee TN Tabletop Tavern. Yeah,
well, I'll change that too. I think it'll still work for probably a couple weeks that way. But yeah, we had a conversation. You, me, Tenkar, other people. We kind kind of took a little, impromptu survey, and so the last one I got to talk with was Cam, because Cam's been here since the beginning, and said, "So what do you think?" So, it is the flagship show. That doesn't mean we don't have any other shows. That's not, everything is not just the Bad News Bards, but it all will be on the Bad News Bards channel. So like, subscribe, and I guess if you want to, you can go over and sign up to Dan the Final Arbiter. Right?
You should. I'm fun.
Yeah, he's fun.
I'll
He's
make a
fun.
video one day, I promise.
Yes, instead of just sniping off of everybody else's. No. All right.
Edgelord, if you want to bring them, that would be cool. I will also have the book with me.
Oh, Edgelord's going to sell me a pinball machine, I hear, for real cheap. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was from Roger's show.
I know where it was from. Squirrel.
Yeah, okay. Scroll.
do.
Yeah. At any rate, the question is, will the wife let me? So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. I don't have any outro. Don't have an intro yet. All that fun jazz. But peace, and we'll see everybody on probably Sunday. I think we're gonna try and live stream from the show.
Okay.
From there. So
I will probably be there. I'm gonna change my flight to Monday morning, I think.
Are you?
Yeah.
You? Okay. All right. Well, didn't you change it back or something? Weren't you? Yeah.
I'll tell you later. It's a long, complicated story. These guys don't care.
I know. All right. Ending the stream now.